is Luke, and welcome to my series where I will be reviewing movies and TV shows. But first, some background. I started out with a blog under the same name as this show I'm doing, where I was reviewing the X-Men movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, all leading up to the most anticipated movies of this year. But I've always wanted to do a review video series where I can pour out my passion for film and other things, so I figured this was the best time to do it. And in this video, I will be reviewing the 6th MCU movie. This is it, people. The big one. This is what the MCU was building up at that time. Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Hawkeye all coming together to form the Avengers. At that time, I was semi-interested in comic book movies. The one that impressed me the most was The Dark Knight, with its dark themes and Heath Ledger's incredible performance as the best Joker ever, though I felt it was far from perfect. However, little did I know that Marvel was taking tiny steps to make more than passable movies by creating its own studio and making a very successful franchise. I liked Iron Man alright, but I wasn't really blown away by it, and I have been skipping the other MCU movies because I haven't heard that much praise for it. But that all changed when I saw Captain America with a friend, and after the end credits, a teaser for the Avengers dropped. I was like, whoa. It is at this point that I will confess that I have been underestimating what Marvel was capable of at that time. Months before the movie came out, I read that the director of the movie was a guy by the name of Joss Whedon. I wasn't very familiar with him, but I read that he is the creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, and other projects. I decided to watch Buffy because I've seen it appear a lot in the top 10 list for best TV shows, and it also starred this lovely lady here. After watching Buffy, I became a fan, and I was really looking forward to the Avengers and what Josh would bring to the table. The premise is very simple. Thor's brother Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, is planning on taking over the world. He makes a deal with a mysterious someone to give him an alien army in exchange for the Tesseract, which is a very mystical object used by Hydra in the past. After Loki attacks a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility, director Nick Fury decides that this is now the time to go on with the Avengers initiative. So Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, Bruce Banner, Natasha Romanoff, and Thor are recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. to help them find Loki and stop him from wreaking havoc. At first, some of them don't really get along, but when things get really out of hand and even someone dies, they decide to set apart their differences and come together to stop Loki. Sounds like a very simple story, doesn't it? But the whole movie is just awesome from beginning to end. Having these characters together is just as enjoyable as you can imagine. The way they work off each other and the one-liners are so well done. I think Joss's witty writing and Robert Downey Jr.'s dry sense of humor is a match made in heaven. Like that one scene when Stark confronts Thor and Thor tells him, "You have no idea what you're dealing with." And Stark says, Shakespeare in the Park? And then he says, "Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?" Also, Black Widow is a much stronger character in this movie than she was in Iron Man 2, having a better agency and more defining characteristics. And I know a lot of you would say that Joss Whedon ruined her in Age of Ultron. I'll give you my thoughts about it when we get to it, but until then, I say Joss deserves a good amount of credit for giving Black Widow her jumping off point. This time in the role of Bruce Banner, we have Mark Ruffalo, and I have to say, like Don Cheadle as Rhodey, he is beyond a worthy replacement. His serene and awkward attitude is very well played, and again, like Don Cheadle, he has such great chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. They have such an enjoyable and funny bromance together. Also, the Hulk effects are better than ever by motion capture, and he just steals every scene he's in. As for supporting characters, we have Nick Fury in a much bigger role, and Agent Coulson is back as well. But we also have a newcomer in the form of Agent Maria Hill, played by Colby Smulders. I was a bit excited to hear her having a role in this movie. You know, I was very glad that she was given the opportunity to work with Joss, as did two of her co-stars on How I Met Your Mother. Here's a very cool tidbit for Whedon Nights. That hooded alien known as the Other is played by Alexis Dansoff, aka Wesley Wyndham-Pryce and Allison Hannigan's husband. For the role of opposition, we have Loki, and man, he is such a great villain. Without a doubt, the best in the MCU. I feel the main reasons are his arc from the first Thor movie being expanded upon, and also given the freedom to just be sinisterly charming and idle in an enjoyable way. I'm not too sure how people felt about Loki in the first Thor movie, but I can tell you definitely that people were going gaga over him. They were just being like, oh, Loki's so hot! And I'm not gonna lie, I too gush about him. I mean, Tom Hiddleston, he is just such a treasure. The other thing about this movie that's fantastic are the action scenes. I'm sure people were so excited to see some certain characters in combat like Thor and Hulk or Thor and Iron Man. In fact, in this movie, Thor gets knocked around a lot by them. I love in one scene when he confronts Loki about the whereabouts of the Tesseract and he says, "You listened well, brother." And BAM! He gets knocked out by Stark and Loki's like, "I'm listening." Josh has said in his commentary that the reason why he has those scenes is because he loves knocking Norse people out of frame and that it makes him laugh. Same here, Josh. But the big climax is something to behold when we finally get to see our heroes fight off Loki and his alien army. That 360 shot of them standing by is such a great yeah moment. You really get to see them fighting in their own styles, and there are no distracting gimmicks like shaky cam. It is very easy to follow. Another great moment is this tracking shot where we follow Black Widow on a flyer fighting aliens, and then we follow Iron Man, who joins Captain America and shoots a laser at his shield so it can kill aliens from different directions, and then we follow Hawkeye, and you get the idea. And last but not least, my favorite moment in the entire climax is when Black Widow is being chased by Loki, and she asks Hawkeye for help, and he has his bow and arrow, and he says, "I got him." And he shoots an arrow, but Loki catches it, and he's so confident, like, when will they learn? And then boom, it blows up in his face. It's so great. But the icing on the cake is when Hulk jumps in and he's about to come at Loki, and Loki just erupts. He yells, "Enough! You, all of you, are beneath me. I am a god, you dog creature, and I will not be bullied by..." And the Hulk grabs him and he starts thrashing him on the floor like a rag doll. And he leaves him on the floor and he's like, "Puny god." And Loki just lays there groaning in pain. You're killing me, Josh. Stop. As for issues, there are a couple of small ones. Like Hawkeye is under Loki's control for the first 2 acts of the movie. So if you're a fan of Hawkeye, that could be a bit disappointing, but I didn't mind it, to be honest. And there's another scene where he snaps out of Loki's control and has a talk with Natasha about what he's been through, and I feel it kind of slows down the movie a bit, but after that it picks up speed again, and honestly that's just a nitpick. But even with those things, The Avenger is a super fun, highly enjoyable, and very well paced movie. It is my favorite comic book movie of all time. I mean, I just had a blast with it from beginning to end, and it just keeps getting better and better every time I see it. I couldn't possibly ask for anything superior than what we got here. To borrow a quote from one of his shows, Joss Whedon and Marvel have done the impossible, and that makes them mighty. So I'm giving The Avengers my complete approval. Well, I hope you enjoy hearing me fanboy over this movie. Join me next time when I will be reviewing the 2 latest movies from the X-Men franchise, Deadpool and X-Men Apocalypse, all leading up to the release of Logan. You can expect more movie reviews from me on a weekly basis, so until then, I'll catch you later. Take care.